is Ellis, 219. Phoebe Wainman in 211, the daughter of Junior Wainman. Surely going to be a win for the 219 car, certainly the driver of the day today. Jacklyn Ellis third in the final. And coming in to win the Grand National here at Hudson Raceway by a clear margin. Ellis takes the flag.
In the F1, you can't hear yourself think. Even when you're on the outside, you can feel it through your chest. So it's tenfold in the car.
BriSCA Formula 1 is quite dangerous. Obviously it's a full contact sport, so it's pretty brutal at times.
It takes a lot out of your body to race, and you think you sit there and you steer, but it's not. Like, your whole body, it takes every muscle. The first time I ever went out in an F1, it was so unbelievably loud. I thought, I'm never going to hear again. The sound of the engine itself is such a beautiful sound.
So Phoebe Hawkins used to be Wainman.
My name is Jacklyn Fairhurst now. I was Jacklyn Ellis when I first started racing. Racing in general, I've been going since I was about 3 months old.
I went to my first meeting when I was a couple of months old, so it's very hard to say, because obviously my granddad raced, my dad races, it's like a full family thing, so I've been going since I was a very, very little baby.
I'm third generation racing driver in my family now. So my dad used to race, my granddad used to race, and my mum raced now and again as well. So she used to race lady bangers.
My earliest memory of being at racing is probably at Coventry Stadium. They used to have the piles of shale outside of the track in the pits, and we just used to play in there as kids.
My earliest memory of racing is probably when my dad used to race bangers. And he used to take us round in his car when he'd won with a checkered flag. The earliest memory I could think of stock cars was probably when I was 14 and I saw kids driving.
I just saw how many girls were racing and I thought, that's so cool, I really want to do it now. And I think that was what kind of convinced me.
My dad thought I'd be bored of it by the time I got home, but by the time I did get home, I'd been on eBay and found a Mini and stuff like that, so we built his own car. So yeah, that was the first time I'd ever really noticed what a stock car was, if you know what I mean. Racing is like, I can't explain it. It's a little bit like giving birth in a way, because it's like you're euphoric, and if you don't feel like that, then you shouldn't get in the car, really. It's almost like the car's part of you, if you know what I mean. I've had some really good crashes and stuff in the past.
There's been a few times that I've kind of been quite hurt. Well, most people have been knocked out. It's a very, very rough, heavy sport. I think a lot of people don't realise how brutal it can be until they race one, and then they're like, oh, it's actually a lot worse than they thought.
There was this one time where I was racing at Buxton, and I went down the back straight. When you start hearing a sound, instead of just like letting off a little bit, I didn't. I kept flat out. As I just got into the corner, I got tapped, and it rattled me around the fence. I then hit another guy that was in the fence, it knocked him out, and then straight away I didn't feel right. As I was in my car, I got a nosebleed, and I thought, oh Christ. I went into the ambulance and they said, oh, you need to get checked up, but we were always like, yeah, we always need to get checked up. I had concussion in my brain was swelling, but as the swelling was going down, that's when the bleed presented itself. I just wanted to do a quick video, even though it's probably not going to be very quick with the way that I am struggling with my speech at the moment. You know, you're pushing the envelope every time you go out, and you never know when you're just going to go. You don't know if you're going to catch on fire. You don't know if you're going to roll over, and you don't know if that's the last day. I ended up with losing my speech for about 3 months. I would do it all again to be able to race. Lots of different things all happened within a short period of time. That's when I thought to myself, I better start, you know, thinking seriously about actual life stuff and not just messing about.
You can drive like...
I'd never really get scared or worried or like that, really, because I think, you know, I'm fixable, you know, and if, God forbid, I did die in a car or a stock car, then it's like that's the way I'd like to go. I just think, oh, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen no matter, you know, and so I think if I have that mentality that you're not afraid of dying, that it takes away any kind of fear. I always thought my mum was daft. Like, when I rolled over or when my car was on fire, she was in pieces, and I was a bit like, Mum, what? Stop being so daft, I'm fine. Like, I was 20 odd year old, I'm invincible, do you know what I mean? Like, I felt like nothing could hurt me. My mum used to get right upset, and I'm like, why are you crying? This is what I want to do, this is what I'm built for, kind of thing. But now, looking back, I'm like, oh my Lord, just the thought of him being hurt, like, number one, I feel like I want to go after everybody on track, and number two, I'd be, it takes you a different toll on you, 100%. To race, you have to kind of be selfish, and to be a mum, you've got to be completely selfless. And it's the weirdest thing, because if I had the same crash now and it had similar or different, you know, circumstances afterwards, the first thing you think about is your kids.
A lot of people don't really realise that when they're asking me like, oh, you're going to be back out racing. My whole life has completely changed now. I do think that I will feel more of a need to kind of keep myself safe, so I don't know whether that'll change the way that I drive.
When my dad raced, I used to be worried about him whenever he crashed, and when Lee races, I worry about him when he's racing, you know, just in case he hurts himself. So I can imagine them having a bit of fear, but at the same time, you always see your parents as being like invincible, don't you? So they're your superheroes, aren't they? And I think for me as well, you know, the fact that Dad races, I can't let it be that only the man's allowed to race. People would say like, oh, now that you've had kids, you've really got to think about what you're doing and stuff. And I'm like, well, nobody said that to the dad. I do think I've got so much left in me, and I do feel like I still had so much left to give. I don't feel like I want to get out back out. I feel like I need to. You know, it just to when I went out, I used to race for myself. Now I race for these. I want them to be proud